if we have to borrow money, we borrow. It's not borrowing is not a leprosy. We just have to work hard to be able to pay for.
There is this habit of corruption at the highest level, of overbilling, because when someone runs for election, especially in Africa, here it's like a business. They are going to be financed. That's the custom here. Handing out cash so people will vote for them. It's an investment. And as soon as he gets in, he has to pay back to make a profit, to reimburse himself. That's not the case with us. We don't have accounts abroad. We don't want any. Everything is focused on the war. There is this habit of...
Hello, my people. Today we are saying that Africans or our African leaders should stop preparing their neck for the yoke of slavery. You know what I mean? You know, you prepare your neck to get that yoke on your neck or on the yoke of Africans. You know, and that's what some of our most of our politicians or African leaders does in Africa. And I'm going to tell you the means why they do this. You know what I mean? Because they have been doing this for a long time. And you know, for you to get yourself out of this yoke of, backwardness that comes with slavery or, impediment of progress. You know what I mean? And this is what we see in some African leaders that engage in borrowing money from this organization. I don't want to mention those organizations. You know that big organizations. Sometimes the problem is when you mention their names. You know, this organization that keep giving Africa money. You know, with interest. When you mention their name, because these people the beast we are battling with, we never know the nature of it. They restrict your video about because you mentioned their names, because they paid this our platform and they paid them just any negative stuff. Yeah, they talk about them. They will, they will just to receive the video. And I have this experience. That's why I'm using these languages and some stuff. I try to change my language, because if you don't change it, we're not in charge of the the platform. Those that are in charge of it, they already program it, even though they will tell you, oh, this is not how it is. But that's what that's my experience in YouTube have showed me that some stuff you say, once you the algorithm hear it in your video, that video is not gonna go anywhere. You know what I mean? And let me circle back to what I'm saying. Because when you keep getting this money, getting this money on loan, your people is gonna pay this money back, even if they're getting it from Chinese or this, Western organization. The non-indigenous organization, the old dog, as I call them. This old dog that keep giving up some African presidents or leaders are going to get this money from them. And when you ask yourself, why is it that these old dogs or old dog, they're not doing the same with the Western country? They haven't had any Western countries going to they borrowing money. Why is it only in Africa they're channeling they're borrowing, they're giving money, for them to pay? And look at how the Western world works. You see them, they tell you, you look at America, for instance, or some part of Europe, like euro or dollars, you see that the dollar is a strong currency. That's what they say. Even you look at British pounds, it's very strong as well. And you ask yourself, why is this money strong? This is paper. It's just machine that print this paper. Why is it strong? Like when they take $1 to Africa, you can buy a lot of stuff with $1. Against the local currency is sometimes it's outrageous, the exchange rate. And the only reason why sometimes they give you this, like, because they have reserve gold, they have reserve fuel in the in the West. They have like a whole country like America. They have gold, like they have reserved gold, like gold worth billions. They have just reserved in case. The same thing in Britain, they have reserved gold. Their central bank have reserved gold. They have gold in their reserve. And that's why it is, because they have this stuff in stock so that their currency can be high, because Africa doesn't have this reserve gold. But when you look at it, you have reserve gold in somewhere in warehouse or underground. Africa have natural resources there, what trillions, you know what I mean? Like somewhere in Congo DRC, they have a lot of resources that worth trillions there. Why can't their money be valuable? Just because it's on ground, it haven't been tapped. Why can't it be like a code for something that make Africa their currency to be high? We have gold in Africa, even though some of them have not been tapped. We have fuel, we have cobalt, we have all the natural resources you can mention is in Africa, is in our soil there. And we cannot use it, you cannot say because it's in the soil, these people are worthy. But because the gold there is somewhere in underground in America somewhere, now the American dollar have to be strong. So this is not fair. That's why I'm saying like these our politicians should look at way to make sure that, because we have resources in Africa, is just on the on the ground. And somebody have gold on warehouse and they're using it as, oh, because we have this gold billions, but we have more than what the West have combined, in their warehouses or in the underground. We have more than that in Africa, but Africa still, our currency is still shit, shit currency, no value. But when they bring this their currency to Africa, it's just our local currency collapses. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm saying, like, we should let me circle back to this borrowing, because we just keep getting papers, printed papers. That's what we get. This money we are getting is just printed, nothing. It's not backed with anything. But Africa have something to back their currency on the ground. And it's solid there. No one can come and steal it. Like the West, you can bomb it and it's gone. But this our gold in our ground, on the soils there, and diamonds, you cannot use bomb and take it away. Please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube and help me, get to at least 500 before September. You know what I mean? 500 subscribers, Peace.